I'm the most complete player ever in the history. To say that Cristiano isn't complete is a lie. Hello everyone. Cristiano Ronaldo has always been a name that evokes mixed emotions. Those who love Ronaldo will be absolutely crazy about him, while those who dislike him will not hesitate to use the harshest words against the Portuguese player. Personally, I have no hesitation in admitting that throughout the Messi-Ronaldo era of dominance, I have always been a supporter of the former Real Madrid striker. Perhaps it's because Ronaldo's journey feels more real to me, more human, and it has given me a great deal of motivation and ambition. In some ways, Ronaldo's more than 20 years of relentless fighting and effort have also been an inspiration for me to pursue content creation in football analysis. And I'm Limitless. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be very long, so make sure you have time and prepare enough water and snacks because you won't want to pause midway. There is a lot of information and perspectives in this video that I believe I will be the first to bring to you about the living legend, Cristiano Ronaldo. If this video gets a lot of views, say 10,000 for example, who knows, I might make a video about Messi. So Messi fans, boost the views for Ronaldo first. Alright, no more calls for likes and shares today, let's get started. To begin this video, we have to go far back in time, to the days when Ronaldo was still a promising young player. 22 years ago, Ronaldo was playing for Sporting Lisbon and had an outstanding pre-season match against Sir Alex Ferguson's Manchester United. This match is a great example of Ronaldo's playing style and talent when he was still a young teenager. However, when re-watching this match, there are some key differences compared to the narratives we often hear in the media. At 18, Ronaldo was a traditional winger, with the main task of hugging the touchline, racing and crossing the ball inside, rarely making penetration situations and less favourable. Ronaldo at that time had a rather slim body, not as muscular as he is now, but in return, his speed was clearly revealed, along with the ability to change speed suddenly, the ability to accelerate short distances, as well as the ability to maintain high speed. Along with that was a fairly complete set of dribbling techniques, and most importantly, a sky-high confidence to be able to regularly show off beautiful skills. Let me show you some highlights. How do you feel? He looks pretty average, right? Actually, what attracted Sir Alex Ferguson was not those flashy skills but his confidence. In fact, even with such high confidence, he did not get past people often, but instead made silly mistakes like running into walls, dribbling blindly. However, Ronaldo still tried those skills over and over again, making it much more difficult for the fullbacks facing him, thereby opening up more space for his teammates inside. Like in the match against Manchester United, Ronaldo made some pretty silly moves, but despite that, he still ignored it and stirred up the wing he was playing on for the entire 90 minutes, even participating enthusiastically in defence. All of these are qualities that are very suitable for a traditional wing during the early 21st century. Fast, enthusiastic, flexible, and tireless. When Cristiano Ronaldo joined Manchester United in 2003, he arrived as a highly promising young talent, brimming with flair, confidence, and an undeniable aura of excitement. But in those early years, that's about all he brought to the table. Despite his impressive technique and fearless approach, Ronaldo had two glaring weaknesses that held him back. First, he was guilty of overusing his skills, often prioritizing flair over efficiency. As a result, he frequently lost possession unnecessarily, something evident in this clip. Second, dazzling footwork alone doesn't make a player effective. Ronaldo's dribbling at the time was limited by a somewhat stiff upper body, making it difficult for him to truly deceive defenders. His skills were flashy but predictable, often executed from a stationary position rather than in fluid motion. Ironically, what fullbacks feared most wasn't his tricks, it was what came after. The moment Ronaldo finished his stepovers and exploded into a sprint, defenders were left in his wake. His raw speed was the real danger, not the spectacle of his footwork. Even the most devoted Ronaldo fans would have to admit, at this stage, he was more of a showman than a dribbler. His flair was so excessive that it raised a serious question. Was he on the pitch to win matches, or was he simply treating it as his personal stage? Under mounting criticism, Ronaldo slowly began to evolve. His goal tally increased gradually over his first 3 seasons. 4, then 5, then 9 goals, averaging around 2,000 minutes per season. By his later standards, these numbers were modest, even underwhelming. Young Ronaldo was always destined for greatness, but in these early years, he was still just a raw talent finding his way. The beast was there, he just wasn't fully unleashed yet. Every legend has a turning point, and for Cristiano Ronaldo, that moment came after the 2006 World Cup, specifically the controversy surrounding Wayne Rooney's red card. When England faced Portugal that year, Ronaldo played a key role in pressuring the referee to punish his Manchester United teammate after a rough foul on Ricardo Carvalho. The British press ran with the story, even editing an infamous image of Ronaldo winking, fueling a wave of outrage against him. In the aftermath, Ronaldo publicly hinted that he wanted to leave Manchester United, not out of fear of Rooney, but because of the backlash from English fans. Yet, despite the hostile environment, he stayed, and that decision changed everything. Take a look at these 2 shirtless photos of Ronaldo taken just 12 months apart. The difference is striking. His hard work paid off, and today he remains one of football's most physically dominant figures. As Gary Neville put it, that year, Ronaldo went from a boy to a man. His transformation wasn't just for aesthetics, it gave him the explosive power to accelerate, change direction, and out-muscle defenders in duels. This physical evolution was crucial, but an even greater shift happened in his mindset and playing style. As Rio Ferdinand once said, when Ronaldo came to Manchester, he always wanted to show off his flashy skills. He wanted to humiliate defenders, to prove how good he was at dribbling. But then he realised, if he wanted to win, he had to score goals. If he wanted to be number 1, he had to score goals. He had to assist. He had to impact the game. And once Ronaldo embraced this, his numbers skyrocketed. In the Premier League alone, he went from single-digit goals to 17 in the 2006-07 season, double his tally before the World Cup. His assists also increased by 2 times to 8 assists. These were outstanding numbers for a pure winger in the early 2000s. But this wasn't the final transformation. A year later, Ronaldo would undergo perhaps the most crucial evolution of his entire career. René Meulenstein, the assistant coach many casual fans may not even recognise, but who played a pivotal role in shaping Ronaldo into the goal machine we know today. After Ronaldo's breakout season in 2006-07, he spent time working closely with Meulenstein, who didn't just see his potential, he saw his future. He didn't tell Ronaldo to change. Instead, he told him to add a simple psychological trick. Rather than making Ronaldo question himself, he tapped into his ambition, framing the adjustments as gaining new weapons rather than abandoning old ones. The two worked nearly one-on-one, focusing on refining Ronaldo's finishing. Instead of prioritising flashy highlight reel goals, they worked on efficiency, choosing the most effective angles and finishing methods, not just the most beautiful ones. This subtle but vital shift turned Ronaldo from a showman into a lethal goal scorer. And Ronaldo's transformation wasn't just about his mindset or his finishing, it was also about the players around him. The arrival of Carlos Tevez at Manchester United played a crucial role in unlocking his full potential. With Tevez in the squad, United formed a terrifying attacking trident. Ronaldo, Rooney and Tevez. What made them so deadly? All three were not only clinical finishers but also excellent playmakers, capable of swapping positions seamlessly throughout a match. This fluid attacking movement gave Ronaldo more freedom than ever before. No longer just a pure winger, he now had more opportunities to drift inside, attack the box and get into prime scoring positions. The result? A completely different beast was born. Need proof? Look no further than the 2007-08 season. With a fresh mindset, refined finishing, and a more advanced attacking role, Ronaldo exploded. In just 700 minutes of Premier League football, he found the net 31 times, doubling his goal tally from the previous year. That season wasn't just about personal records, it was a complete domination. Ronaldo didn't just win the Premier League, he conquered Europe by lifting the Champions League, the FIFA Club World Cup, the Golden Boot, and of course his first Ballon d'Or. This was the moment football officially entered the Messi-Ronaldo era, an era that would define a generation. And just a year later, Messi would claim his first Ballon d'Or at 22, setting the stage for the greatest rivalry in football history. Ronaldo wasn't just a showman anymore, he was a phenomenon. In 2009, Cristiano Ronaldo became the most expensive signing in football history at the time, joining Real Madrid and stepping into a new era of his career. At Madrid, he transitioned from his familiar role on the right wing to the left, and this was when Ronaldo reached his most complete and dominant form. He still possessed the raw attributes that made him special: blistering pace, lightning acceleration, dazzling technique, and unshakable confidence. But now, he had added even more weapons to his arsenal: physical strength, world-class finishing on the ground and in the air, and an unmatched hunger for goals. Unlike at Manchester United, where he was part of a system built around collective balance, Ronaldo became the undisputed focal point of Real Madrid's attack. He thrived in a tactical setup that allowed him to shine consistently, particularly in the early years. On paper, he played as a left winger in a 4-2-3-1 formation, but with the arrival of Mesut Ozil, a creative genius with an eye for the perfect final ball, and Marcelo, an overlapping left-back who played almost as an extra attacker, Ronaldo was essentially an inside forward. His job was clear: cut inside, invade the box, and finish chances. Then came the golden years. Real Madrid assembled a lineup that would become legendary, with an iconic defensive unit, the legendary midfield trio of Modric, Casemiro and Kroos (MCK), and an attacking trio, BBC, Bale, Benzema, Ronaldo, that would be remembered as one of the most lethal in football history. Unlike Ozil, who acted as a playmaker, Gareth Bale brought a new dimension to the attack. With his blistering speed and thunderous shot, Bale created a constant threat on the right, forcing defences to spread thin, leaving Ronaldo with more space to exploit on the left. Karim Benzema, meanwhile, played the perfect supporting role, dropping deep, linking up play, and making selfless runs to create openings for Ronaldo. This setup provided Ronaldo with the most optimal environment to thrive, and the results were staggering. From the 2014-15 season to 2017-18, Ronaldo's goal map resembled that of an elite striker. His positioning was no longer limited to the left wing. Instead, he became a central figure inside the penalty box, scoring from the left, right and dead centre. His movement became more intelligent, his finishing more clinical, and his attacking instincts nearly unstoppable. During this period, Ronaldo perfected the art of movement off the ball, making him one of the most unpredictable scorers in football history. His ability to time runs, anticipate passes and execute the perfect finish made him a nightmare for defenders. One of his signature moves was his far post headers, where he used his explosive speed and incredible leap to dominate fullbacks who lacked the height and strength to compete with him. If the cross didn't reach him directly, his ability to reposition himself and attack the ball ensured he was always a threat. One of the most famous victims of this aerial dominance was none other than Patrice Evra. who was left helpless as Ronaldo soared above him time and time again. His aerial prowess was so formidable that even today, defenders in Europe can breathe a little easier knowing they won't have to face him in his prime. He remains one of the most dominant aerial threats the game has ever seen. But it wasn't just about towering headers. Ronaldo was also a master of delayed runs into the box. Instead of charging forward early, he would hold back, waiting for the perfect moment before accelerating past defenders. His sudden changes in direction and rapid bursts of speed allowed him to create space and capitalize on defensive lapses. And when the ball arrived, his one-touch finishing was lethal, leaving goalkeepers with little chance. Moreover, starting as a winger, Ronaldo naturally found an essential source of goals by cutting inside from the flank and unleashing powerful shots from medium to long range. But unlike other wingers, Ronaldo's approach was unique. He didn't rely on endless dribbles and tricky feints like Messi, nor did he possess the sheer volume of skills like Neymar, or even what he showcased in his youth. He rarely went for classic curling shots like Robben or sacrificed himself as a playmaker from the wing like Di Maria. Instead, Ronaldo's signature move was simple but devastating. Cut inside and blast the ball with raw power. His shots often lacked heavy spin, many of them being classic knuckleballs that harnessed the unpredictable airflow around the ball, creating unstable, wobbling trajectories that left goalkeepers helpless. One of his most iconic knuckleballs came from over 30 meters out, struck with ferocious power, flying erratically before hitting the net, leaving the goalkeeper stranded. And of course, he celebrated by flexing his famously powerful thigh muscles. And last but not least, Ronaldo was also an exceptional penalty taker. Out of 203 career penalties, he converted 172, boasting an impressive 84.7% success rate. Those 172 goals make up a significant chunk of his staggering total of over 900 career goals, cementing his role as the primary penalty taker for both club and country. If we were to list Ronaldo's missed penalties in crucial moments, the list would be surprisingly short. A few that come to mind include the miss in the 2008 Champions League semi-final against Barcelona and another in the final against Chelsea the same year, though neither cost United the title. As for his time at Real Madrid, nothing stands out immediately, but if any Ronaldo fans remember, drop a comment below. Of course, Ronaldo had countless ways to score, but listing them all would turn this into an endless video. At his peak, he was the complete forward. Left foot, right foot, headers, volleys, back heels, you name it, he could score with it. What's even more impressive is how he maintained this elite level for so many years, consistently matching his great rival Messi. During the iconic Messi-Ronaldo era, when Messi ruled Barcelona and Ronaldo dominated at Real Madrid, no one else came close to their consistency. Neymar? Moving to PSG was arguably a mistake. Eden Hazard? He was never the same after joining Real. Gareth Bale? Injuries and his passion for golf saw the man brought in to rival Ronaldo eventually fade before Ronaldo himself left the club. Honestly, to even compare someone to Real Madrid-era Ronaldo, that player needs to score over 40 goals a season, and then do it for 8 straight seasons, just like Ronaldo did from 2010 to 2018. If not, it's probably better to stop the comparison right there and look for someone more on his level. After showcasing his full range of skills at Manchester United and conquering Europe with Real Madrid, Ronaldo didn't stop there. He sought new challenges in Italy, joining Juventus, a move that marked the beginning of his battle against time. His journey in Turin wasn't as rosy as his days in England or Spain, as age slowly started to show its effects. Though still the focal point of the attack, Ronaldo's role at Juventus was no longer as unique or dominant. He became the spearhead up front, supported on the left by Matuidi and Alex Sandro, both big names, though past their prime. He also benefited from the creativity and work rate of Mandzukic and Dybala, but something had clearly changed. A simple look at Ronaldo's heat map reveals the shift. Compare his final season at Real Madrid to his first at Juventus, and the differences are striking. At Real, his heat map glowed red in the penalty area. He lived there, thriving off goal-scoring opportunities. In contrast, at Juventus, his touches spread wider and deeper. He was frequently on the flanks, between the lines, and even in his own half. The dark red zones in the penalty box faded, replaced by more distributed touches across the field. This tactical shift puzzled many. Why, at 34 years old, was Ronaldo no longer the sprinter of his youth, tasked with dropping deep to aid in build-up play? He wasn't known for orchestrating attacks or progressing the ball forward. Yet, Juventus demanded more from him than just goals. The numbers back it up. At Juventus, Ronaldo recorded career-high stats in progressive passes, touches in the midfield, crosses and dribbles per game. It was bizarre to see the once selfish, flair-driven winger now deeply involved in the team's overall play. Surprisingly, this change worked, at least to an extent. As a long-time Ronaldo fan, even I doubted whether he could thrive away from goal as he aged. Yet, he adapted well, completing his new responsibilities effectively. But don't be mistaken, he never fully morphed into a midfielder. Ronaldo remained a striker at heart, conserving energy for those signature sprints and finishes. Inevitably, his shot volume dropped, about 15% fewer shots per 90 minutes compared to his last 3 seasons at Real. However, his goal-scoring efficiency remained impressively high. Except for a dip in his first season, 0.7 goals per 90 minutes, his following 2 seasons in Turin nearly matched his Real Madrid numbers, averaging close to a goal per game. Having a striker who scores almost a goal per game, even as he ages, is a dream for any club. Juventus clinched the Scudetto in 2 of Ronaldo's 3 seasons, yet some critics still claim his time in Italy was a failure. I don't get it. What more could you expect from a player fighting the inevitable decline of age? Maybe I'm biased. After all, I've been a Ronaldo fan for years, but to me, his Juventus stint was a success. It was challenging, yes, and perhaps not as glorious as his time in Spain, but it showcased his adaptability and determination. Honestly, if his career had ended after Juventus, it would have been a perfect curtain call, a fitting end to the story of one of football's greatest ever. Personally, I've rarely followed Ronaldo since his return to Manchester United and now in Saudi Arabia. Even though I call myself a Ronaldo fan, I just don't have the heart to watch him decline before my eyes. He's a great man, a legend who has won countless titles and countless debates, but no one can defeat time. And as a fan, that's hard to accept. So how could I ever blame him? Even though I no longer follow his every move, I'm still proud. Proud that one day I can say, I witnessed the greatness of Ronaldo and Messi with my own eyes. I lived through their golden era. Sure, there will be future stars, perhaps even more talented, but I don't think any of them will give me the same feeling I had watching the eternal battle between Ronaldo and Messi. Now, let's go back to that quote from the beginning of the video. Is Ronaldo the most complete player in history? In my opinion, if we replace player with striker, it would be more accurate. Because as a striker, Ronaldo is as perfect as it gets. He has every skill a forward dreams of and executes them at the highest level. But the most complete player, that might be stretching it. There's a difference between being the ultimate striker and the most complete footballer. But that's just my take. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.